Oh, I think it worked. Hello. This is my first time going live, so I'm not sure if it's working. Let me see. Yeah, I think it is. Well, hello. I'm not used to. Oh, I just got a notification that I'm live, so I guess it's working. Yeah, I'm going to keep this most likely brief. Yeah, I also wasn't planning on doing video. I'm not sure even how to turn it off, so learning curves. I decided to go live about 4 minutes ago. I've never done before, like I said, so I was just trying to figure out how to even go about it. And everything that I read said that like when you try to go live for the first time on YouTube, you have to like get approved. So I really wasn't planning on speaking. I thought I was like going in a process of approval. But here we are, approved. Okay. Well, some of the what I call energetic strands that have been coming in. I was actually going to record for YouTube, not live, and I'm just being drawn to something in front of me. And okay, so I woke up today and I've been sort of implementing, if you want to say like, for a really long time, I've been like researching and just looking into different practices for the body, like body care. And recently I decided to really fix my hair. I don't know what's happening here. Recently, I've really been working with waking up and just implementing what I feel is best for my body after like trying different things and learning about different things. And today I woke up with like a feeling of like what I've been implementing, just like I feel different in a good way. And I have more energy. I feel like I'm holding less tension and fluid in my body. And I just kept hearing like micro shifts, which is a transmission that I recorded for YouTube months ago. And right after I kept hearing micro shifts, a few minutes later, I opened YouTube and a different creator had posted something like, and I felt guided to click on it. And she basically, like minutes after I was tuning into this, she was like, yeah, whatever you've been doing, especially with like body care, small changes, like you may be like feeling a difference. So I love when that happens, that like instant mirroring or reflection of something. And yeah, micro and macro was the phrase that was coming through, and then between and beyond. So this really feels right now like if you find this, and even though I feel extremely unprepared for this, my hair is kind of messy. I'm wearing just like a regular, yeah, whatever. I have clothes in the background that's like my unofficial closet. I'm staying somewhere very temporarily. So anyway, actually, the drawers behind me, I think they're like these vintage drawers that my sister got like quite a while ago, my brother-in-law. So there might be something about vintage, something like vintage or antique is coming through. That could just be like a confirmation for someone, but there's something like metaphorically, I feel like mirroring and about that. Anyway, by the way, I am just kind of laughing at myself because I have like thought about going live. I can't even tell you how many times, and probably since like 2020, 2021, something like that. But everything has its time, which I feel like is part of this message. So if you're like in the process of, I just got so hot, my heart is like rippling out heat waves. It's like out and then in and then up and then around. If you've been like feeling like you're putting effort into something, or I keep hearing like in the field, you know, like researching, gathering information, and maybe you have not either, like if you're finding this, you just like me woke up today and you're having like, whoa, like maybe not today, but like you've been noticing these Perhaps micro changes are starting to affect the macro. Also, I didn't know that in Japanese, I love Japanese like philosophy and a lot of their techniques in life, really like their life techniques. Ikigai, ikigai and wabi sabi, just ikebana, like some of their different things over the years that I've learned about. And I did not know that like micro changes. There's a specific name for it, and it just left my mind. The Japanese word for it. If anyone sees this, feel free to comment if you know or if you want to look it up. I would look it up myself right now, but I'm too in the zone. So there's something about that. Years after I had been like really implementing the idea of micro shifts, micro changes into my own experience, then I found out that there was an actual word in Japanese for this, and that yeah, so things like that could be happening for you. Like maybe there's things that you just feel internally, and then like days, months, weeks, years later, you find out that there's actually like names for it or already existing things. Yeah, okay. So with that in mind, this micro macro sort of experience, yesterday I recorded my sister's dog. I just took her for a long walk, and sometimes she just has a lot to say. So you might hear her in the background. Interestingly, so Mabel is her name, and she is basically like, we don't know how deaf and blind, but she's like deaf, blind, and she has special needs, if you will. And I feel like just observing her and spending a lot of time with her, she's also reactive and like doesn't get along with other dogs. For some reason, it's coming up in the energy of like reaction, response, and like senses. So you could be like synesthesia could be relevant for someone, but you could be like looking into or just expanding your senses in some way, or like turning senses off and on. There's something about like I just heard the band Senses Fail. Does anyone remember them? I haven't thought of them in ages, but for some reason I'm hearing Senses Fail. They had like what was their famous song, Goodbye Stephen? And that name keeps coming up actually. So yeah, I'm not sure why that's coming through, but wow, I literally forgot about them. Senses Fail. Yeah, maybe someone here is like going through like, interestingly, the last few days I've been like purging out of my sinuses, which yesterday when I recorded for YouTube, that's what I was speaking about. I think I called it like walking purge, because I was like, I'm still going through it a little bit actually. But I really am someone who's very sensitive with my nose. Like I have a very strong sense of smell. And when I've been purging a lot out of this area for like off and on for months. And I've been realizing like how much I do utilize my sense of smell like to navigate the world. And now that it's been like shut off a lot, it's like I feel like it's even putting me more in touch with other senses. And I actually didn't realize that until this moment. Like I just am really sitting with that. So yeah, this could be happening for some of you. And yeah, it just feels like an opportunity to expand other aspects of yourself while this is happening. Okay, so I keep going to talk about this one aspect that I keep feeling, and it's like kind of drifting away, and then it comes back. I guess there's no way to pause a live, right? I really just want to okay. I'm also sitting in a camping chair, and I feel like I'm super low to, okay, that's a little bit better, I feel like. Yeah, I was kind of like, ooh. And I feel like this is part of the message, though. A lot has been coming through about like working with the resources that you have. And again, if you're already doing any of this, you can just take it as like confirmation. like me just sitting up a little bit more straight, like I feel differently already, you know? Um, and okay, so I remember a lot of when I first wanted to get into like content creation, I had so many ideas and just so much coming through me that I was like very overwhelmed, and I wanted everything to be like instantly like organized and titled and perfect, of course. But I think I've been doing YouTube now for like a year and a half. I think actually, you know what? It might be 2 years. I started in the spring of 2024, and we're about to be the spring of 2026, which is crazy. I really did not even realize that until right now. So thank you to anyone who has supported me. I am so, 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 so grateful. Because this has been very challenging for me to get into, but I really love it. And so anyway, with that, I realized that you can make playlists on YouTube. I didn't know that until like yesterday. So then I started making playlists, and like so many ideas, titles, descriptions of things that I've been like wanting to share just like didn't have its place yet. And then like when I was making the YouTube playlist, I was like, whoa, like it's like little subsets within the YouTube umbrella. And so yeah, if you're finding this and you're really feeling like you want to start something, or you did start something and you feel like it's just not what you want it to be yet, I feel like this is really just coming through as like that phrase, it's kind of cliche, but just like really enjoying the process and trusting that like as you continue to show up and just show up and try a little, you'll see like it continues to like create itself, and then ways you didn't even imagine things coming together, they start to come together. And as I'm speaking, my left foot is almost like seizing up, and then like it's like contracting and conspanding, contracting and convexing. Left foot. For some reason, this song will pop in my head every once in a while. The Spice Girls. I haven't heard it in a while. What is the song? Stop right now. I need somebody with a human touch. Hey, you always on the run. Slow it down, baby. Gotta have some fun. Yeah, so there might be something. I really wish I could pause this and go check on her, but I'm sure she's fine. She has everything she needs if you hear the dog barking in the background. Now I'm seeing the dog from Peter Pan, Nana, I think her name was. She kind of looks like the dog, Mabel, this dog here. So for some reason that's coming through as well. I know I'm playing with my hair. I'm just figuring this out. But yeah, so I suppose the underlying current of this transmission is really just like one, I'm facing something that I have been just preparing for. I've been preparing for this, even though I feel so unprepared, like I said. So yeah, I just hope if you're finding this, and it's so synchronistic because the very first YouTube video that I ever recorded, I think I deleted, or I like made it private and then I released it again at some point. And I think it was called like Take the Leap. And it was basically like similar to this. It's kind of like a full circle moment of just, yeah. And again, if you're already doing this is just like maybe a confirmation that just to keep going. But if you're thinking about doing something that you truly want to do and you can think of a million reasons not to, I hope you can at least take like one step into that direction. And I was just on the phone with my mom, and I feel like this energy is like seeping through, where she wants to get a new car. And this has been like a topic that we've talked about at exhaustion. And today I was finally like, I kept seeing the last few weeks in like weird synchronistic ways, like at least 2 to 3 times in different ways. I saw the part from The Matrix. It kept coming up, the movie The Matrix, where Neo, I think is his name. It's so funny because my friend, do I have it with me? No, my friend gave me this leather jacket that literally goes to your ankles. It's so intense. And when she first gave it to me, I was like, I cannot try that on, but I did. And I'm so happy she gave it to me because here in Seattle, I was coming here and it's way colder than I thought it was going to be. So it's served me quite well once I got past the fact that I was wearing a floor-length leather jacket. But it's funny, now I just put it on and I don't even think about it. Yeah, so there's something about that. And so the scene with Neo where he like shows up to the Oracle, and he I don't remember the exact thing, something like asking her how she knew something, and she's like, you already know what decision you made, but you're here to understand why. And I feel like that's what I said to my mom. I was like, you already know you want to get a new car, you already made the decision, so like try not to go back and forth about it and just enjoy the decision and slow down and take the steps you need to take. And she was like, huh. So I feel like that's sort of what's coming through right now. Like maybe there's a decision you've already made and I'm just reflecting or mirroring back. Like it's not to rush. You don't need to get everything done in one day. It's just allow yourself to sit with your decision that you already feel that you made, or that you made on some level, and allow it to ripple through and like be guided through the next steps. Because yeah, that is what I'm feeling very strongly. I did take notes for the other when I was going to do a recorded, so I'm sorry I'm looking at my phone, but I know I have something written down that may be relevant. Oh, and another aspect of this, when I was recording yesterday for YouTube, I posted, there was the number 3. I kept seeing in the clouds number 3. There was something about 3 very specifically. And since then, I've had multiple different YouTube videos pop up on my phone saying something is happening within the next 3 days, 3 to 4 days. There's something happening. Ooh, I'm releasing through the throat super strongly. 3 to 4 days, 3 to 4 days. So from when you're finding this, there could perhaps be some sort of, again, like those micro shifts, micro changes, micro implementations. It feels like there's an accumulation, like something is coming forth to physicalize or materialize in some way, whether it's a feeling, a message, multiple things, a new opportunity. Like it feels like there's multiple things that are happening, and you'll at least see some sort of growth in the next 3 days, 3 minutes, 3 hours, like something of that nature. 3:13 on the clock. And it's funny again, because the number 13 has been coming through today, like repeatedly. Also, I kept hearing, I've literally forgot about this, but if anyone remembers Seth Speaks, so someone here could listen to that content, or like maybe you did in the past, or maybe it will show up for you, but there's something about like the law of one, Ra, Seth Speaks, and something that I've been really passionate about, I guess is the word I could use. So this phrase, multidimensional community weaving, came through, and I put it on my YouTube like description a while ago. And it's been sort of like coming through in different ways of what that even means. Like at some point when I started getting like specific phrases, like channeling phrases or certain words, just these like different, almost like mini umbrellas that would come under like an umbrella of, let's say, like the Christos Sophia integration, right? And then like all these different things, like I was talking about the playlists on YouTube, and now I get to like see in real time how some of this is like coming together. And I'm using this as an example because the series that I am releasing, I already released the first key, I'm calling it, and the second key from Oraculous Lineages is the name of the series. And like I didn't even plan this, but it was sort of like a form of multidimensional community weaving. And yeah, it's like I really just have been like trying to show up for what it is that I've been feeling. And it's like I've been given these like clues and hints and visions and dreams and phrases, and it's like things are starting to like fill themselves in and like weave together in ways that I just hadn't even thought was a thing. So that could be something perhaps that may be happening for you, or something that will be happening depending where each of you are at. I still haven't checked my notes. Okay, let's see. Oh, a song kept playing in my head the other day, Scars to Your Beautiful. And then after that song was playing multiple times in my head, I forget who sings it. I think it begins with an A. There were multiple things that started showing up externally where I heard like Scars to Your Beautiful in different ways. So there could be something about alchemy and alchemizing past wounding, subconscious patterning, scars, and really like embracing that and creating from that place. And like I was saying earlier, like there have been so many times where I thought, oh, well, I can't start this because, you know, I don't have a certain thing. So again, it's like starting with what you have and trusting that like you have what you need and the rest will follow as you continue to take steps. Like, yeah, that message seems to be repeating itself. I also keep getting a vision of a whale like jumping out of the water and like opening its mouth. I need to sit with this for a second. The whale. What else came through Peter Pan? Was it Pinocchio where they're inside someone goes inside the whale? I don't know why I'm seeing that too. Right? I'm being shown essentially like the process of parasitic to self-illumination. And that's something that I talk about a lot in many forms and aspects. And I actually wrote that in one of the playlist descriptions yesterday. And I've been thinking about it since then that I almost want to put it like in parentheses next to it, like without shame, because I feel like the word parasitic has such a, you know, heavy connotation and like can come with like, oh, having parasitic energy can feel like shameful in ways. And I feel like it's like being born into a parasitic way of society in a lot of ways, not in all aspects, of course. So there's something about like that Pinocchio energy, right? Like the strings that are being pulled, like having awareness of that, processing through whatever it is emotionally and physically that comes up, but step by step, reigniting the self illumination and like I'm not getting a word, but it's like, again, the energy of like reverberation and like this, like coming back within, without, around, the angles above. Like there's something about that. I feel like I could keep going for hours. 23 minutes. Wow. I thought it's been like 5 minutes. 23 actually is another really significant number. I'm looking, and I spoke about the number 23 in one of the last transmissions. It was either the one I posted yesterday or within the last few days on YouTube. And there was this essence of the high self octave and an arc of like, the phrase that came through was like triadic location, bilocation, triadic location, trilocation, but also just like multiple points in space-time of communication, especially through the lens of the high self octave is the way it came through. And for me, 23 has been that number to connect me into whatever you want to call it, the high self, higher self, angelic consciousness. And it's been showing up so strongly recently. And yeah. It's funny because I feel like I've said nothing right now. Like as I'm like thinking, if I start to think about it, I'm like, did I actually say anything these last 23 minutes? But I'm just trusting that what is meant to come through is coming through. And yeah, I actually planned today to work on the last edit of the Substack written essence of the second key of the Oraculous Lineage series. I'm going to try and publish it today, and record the Patreon overflow intuitive dimensional bodywork activation, or IDB, which I've been trying to bring through what intuitive dimensional bodywork is. I spoke about it yesterday. When I say yesterday, what is today's date? 3, 2, 1 on the clock, right? Yeah, it's like a countdown. There's a countdown for something. Sometimes when I know something like that is coming in, I'll hear that song, The Final Countdown, or I'll see 3, 2, 1 like constantly, or like usually 3, 2, 1. Okay, let me find. I can't find it right now for some reason, but whatever the date is today. Oh, it's the 26th. It's my friend's birthday. So on the 25th, I released a YouTube, and I kind of go into some of like the logistics of what I'm releasing right now, the pearlescent presence portal, current codes curation rotation, and then the Oraculous Lineage series that I'm creating and releasing on YouTube, Patreon, and Substack. So if you want to know a little bit more about that, you can look in yesterday's, the 25th of February, and I go into a little bit more detail about that. I think I'm going to call it here. I have set the intention within the last day or so that I want to start going live at least every other week. I'm moving around a lot, and I don't have like a set schedule, so it's a little bit challenging for me to like officially have a schedule in some way, but I'm going to do my best to try and honor that. And yeah, I'd love to hear like if there's any particular topics or just things that anyone wants to talk about or hear about or receive an activation about. Yeah, if I would have like sat down beforehand, I probably would have tried to like plan a whole thing. So this was fun to just kind of come on and see what came out. But I know in the next lives to come and other content that's coming through and creations, just know that there's many ideas formulating and hybrid of research and channeling that wants to sort of come forth. So yeah. Okay. I just want to say thank you. Something I liked, I always say this in my mind, but I've been like guided more often to say this out loud. I just take a second, and I often will say like I'm saying thank you, or just setting intentions. I always say in all realms and dimensions upon which I exist, for myself and the collectives upon which I'm connected, or I'll say we, like, I say I and we. I'll kind of switch back and forth. Lately, I've been saying we more, and I just kind of feel like that anchoring point and the ripple. And I usually like include, people, places, things, different realms, collectives, the earth itself, the crystalline core, the high heart template. And because I've been sort of doing this for so long, I almost like not forgot, but it's so ingrained, or like it's so streamlined. And I think there's like something about coming back to when I started doing that in the process and sharing it and kind of like distilling all the different layers that I've been like energetically creating for years now. So yeah, for some reason I wasn't planning on speaking about that, but that wanted to come through. So okay, thank you.